Bonjour, I'm Rania.
I'm Titi. Let's spill the tea.
Welcome to another episode of Confessions of Two College Students.
FOMO, relationship, friendship, and the journey to adulthood. We got all the gossip.
But before we get into it, don't forget to follow us on our Instagram at ALRA Studios and Twitter at ALRA Studios.
That's right. Our podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and more. Make sure to give us 5 star.
All right, now take a seat with us, join our table, and hear our confessions to all this with a cup of coffee.
We just got back from a class, so let's catch up. Hi everyone. Welcome to the second episode of Confessions of Two College Students.
So today's topic is honestly really intriguing, and I'm sure most of you can relate to this topic on some level. So today's topic is
First,
heartbreak. To be honest, it's kind of a hard thing to talk about, but we're going to spill all the tea with you guys right now.
Yeah, definitely. But at this point, I think it's not even sad anymore. Heartbreak is not even sad. It's kind of funny for me.
Yeah, I kind of relate to that.
Yeah, but before we start, I kind of want to know, Rania, when was your first heartbreak?
Okay, so my first heartbreak was, to be honest, not too long ago.
Same. Oh my God, same. Yeah.
Yeah, so my first heartbreak was probably when I was 19, and I'm 20 now, so it's not really a long time, but
Like a year
yeah.
ago.
Yeah. But maybe before we continue, I would like to ask, what is the one word you would use to describe your first huge, like really, really, really serious heartbreak?
Ooh, that's really good questions. But I think mine would be numb because I
Okay.
kind of like, yeah, numb. Like, I kind of like used to being hurt. And at that point, I just like can't even feel anything. It's just like slowly accepting what happened to me. And, like, yeah, it's just numb.
Okay.
But did I also like feel numb when that happened?
To be honest, it was more of like maybe shock for a couple of seconds, but then it just became like really, really heart-wrenching. Yeah, so yeah, my word to describe it is probably heart-wrenching because to be honest, like the first heartbreak is just like not something I want to experience again, like
Yeah.
ever.
No, thank you.
Yeah, because having like that type of feeling is just like the worst thing that could happen. And to be honest, I never really understood like the concept of heartbreak before
Yeah.
I actually experienced it myself. Like, to be honest, when I saw movies or like when I read books or I hear podcasts or things like that about heartbreak, I thought I understood what it meant, but it turns out that
It's
I'm
completely
yeah, it's like really, really complicated, and I didn't really understand what it truly felt like until I actually experienced it myself. So maybe like my first heartbreak was with he's like not actually my first boyfriend, but I guess I would say it's like one of my first serious boyfriend because we dated for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, the thing is, he was the person who was there for me through the time where I
Yeah.
was like turning into an adult, like from a teenager into an adult. And because I experienced a lot of like my first times with him, like for example, the first time going to like various places, or first time learning how to drive a car, or first time doing just like really random things.
Yeah.
That's why he's like very
Important to you.
yeah.
Yeah.
He
That one person that you always like have love,
yeah,
but
because he was always there in like the most important times of my life. So that was why when I broke up with him, it was like honestly the worst feeling ever. And yeah, but I guess it was like really hard at first because I never experienced something like that before. Like I had breakups before this, but after that, I I wasn't, I was like okay with it, you know, I could just go through my day just normally, you know, like it didn't really affect me. But this one, it just
There's
totally
some,
wrecked me.
yeah, that's true. Like you've been together for so long, and then it's not like you're dating like in an elementary school or something. It's like
Yeah.
recent, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
true.
affect you the most. Okay.
Yeah, what about you? Do you like what was your first heartbreak really like?
Oof. Okay, so I've been in a long distance relationship for like long. So it's kind of like on and off kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you really love someone and it's just like he's just gonna be like the person that I'm like he's my person, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and then I've got cheated on. He's cheating on me with this girl.
Oh no.
You know, and then it's just I feel like when we're going through a breakup in this generation, like we have this satisfaction to hurt each other after we break up.
Okay.
Yeah, like for example, like especially like teenager, because we know that we can't be together, so like might as well hurt their feelings. But that's not okay. That's
Yeah,
not right.
that's not okay, but I do understand like
Yeah, like
what it felt like to be in that position.
yeah.
Like I'm sure you both wanted each other to understand what you were feeling. Like you both wanted each other to just, you know, like feel the hurt that you think the other person has given you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And then yeah, it was a lot for me because I've been with this guy for over like 7 years.
Wow, 7 years.
On and off. I'm not saying because like we kind of break up for like a year or something, but then like we keep like going back to each other, you know, which is not good, which is not healthy. So yeah.
But, you know, I never really understood like the concept of cheating on someone, you know, because
Yeah.
I feel like
Like
you
if
always have the option to like break up with the person you're with first and then like continue your relationship with other people.
other
But
people, yeah. Not
yeah,
hurt, not cheating on them. It's just like unfair because you know when we first like getting to know each other, like obviously you really want to be with this person, and then like why did you waste so much time to be? I mean, like being with this person, and then you just end up cheating. It's just not fair, you know.
yeah, I'm sure. Of course, it's not fair, especially if the relationship is like extremely serious. I'm sure
Yeah,
you put a lot of trust on the other person, and like you could say you even give your all to that person, and having your trust just like crumpled and like taken for granted and stuff, you know, I'm sure that would be like really damaging
yeah.
emotionally, especially because, you know, I mean, I haven't like experienced it myself, like getting cheated on, but
Oh, that's so nice. Congratulations.
thank you. I'm like, I hope I never get to experience it, but I've seen
Yeah,
it like on my friends,
yeah.
and you know, like it's really not a great sight to see because
No, it's
as
not.
like as a friend, I can see that they're just like really special, you know, and because of the experience of getting cheated on, it's like they have this weird like view of themselves now. Like they are more insecure about themselves.
Yeah,
They
yeah, that's so true though. Like they're kind of like I mean, I kind of like kept like wondering and then asking myself like,
mm,
am I not enough or am
mm,
I doing the right thing or is this like am I gonna like mess this thing again if I'm like talking to someone, you know?
oh no, but honestly, that's like the saddest thing ever. Like someone being just like questioning themselves because of
Yeah,
some
questioning them.
weird ass thing that someone else did, you know? Like because cheating on someone, I feel like it's more on a problem on you, like the person cheating, rather than
Yeah.
the person getting cheated on, because it's just really weird how you think that you can hurt someone like that, like having zero regard of other
Especially
people's feelings. It's just
what's
so weird.
annoying. Yeah, what's annoying is like, you're cheating on me, and then you keep saying all these things like, I love you and I want to be with you. It's just
Oh,
like the worst. It is the worst thing ever. Like, if you
oh,
cheat on me, like, no, don't even talk to me. Don't even say things like that. Because I know that maybe that's like, when they're guilty and then they're just kind of like, I love you, you meant the
mm,
world, and
yeah,
everything.
yeah. Like
That's just
it
not
kind
fair.
of, yeah, and it's kind of like love bombing, right?
Yeah,
Because like
exactly.
they feel extremely guilty about themselves after doing something that they know will hurt you, and
They
yeah,
know
maybe,
them so wrong.
yeah, they know that they're in the wrong, so that's why like they try to make it up, even though there's nothing that can make up getting cheated on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure like that really had like a negative impact towards your relationships. I mean, like relationships after getting cheated on. Like maybe
Yeah.
even with like other people, even with new people.
Yeah, new guy, or I always kind of like, yeah, you're right, like questioning, and then like I keep like, what is it, assuming?
Okay, okay.
Like, am I enough? And then what is he doing? Is he with someone else? Is he gonna do the things that my ex did, and everything,
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm sure that like there's gonna be trauma and like emotional damage that just really like came from those really negative experiences. And I feel like not a lot of people understand like maybe getting cheated on, even though I never personally got cheated on when I was in a relationship, but I was kind of in a situation where someone like repeatedly wanted to like be serious with me, but it turns
Yeah,
out that the entire time he was sleeping with
other
his
people.
friend. Yes. And to be honest, even though I didn't have feelings for this guy, but because I kept on thinking like, maybe I can make it work with this person. Like maybe I
Yeah.
can give him a chance. Like because I
Yeah.
kept having these thoughts, it hurts so much. Like even as a friend, because I trusted that person. Like
Yeah,
I
of course.
thought that he would never hurt me like that. Like after that, I kind of realized that, you know, even though they do these things, like we shouldn't make it about us. I mean, like we shouldn't doubt ourselves because of someone else. We shouldn't like be insecure because someone just like cheated on us or did something weird that is just, like it gives like a lot of emotional damage to other people. So,
Yeah, that's why in a relationship, like I said, like you need to know like the do's and don'ts in a relationship, because that is so important. And
mhm.
I feel like, don't if you're in a relationship, just like don't assume and don't overthink, because
Mhm.
it's gonna make it worse. Like, you need to trust this person. You need to, yeah, like you need to have trust on this person, because like you're with them, and then, you know like, you need to trust this person, and like don't be controlling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But before that, like with those past experiences of getting cheated on and stuff, especially like your first real heartbreak, like what did you do to try to get over them? Like how did you move on?
So okay, that's really good questions, but I get through a lot with this, and I kind of like experience a lot of heartbreak. So
Mhm.
that makes me a bit like, I kind of know what I'm doing if I'm in that position again. So I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
like. So don't stalk their social media because that is the worst. So if
Yeah.
you're breaking up with someone, don't stalk them because that's just gonna like make you even more sad. Because especially if this guy like posts a lot, he's gonna like post that he's having fun with his friend, and you're gonna like like
Think that he's so happy without you, right? I mean,
like
I totally agree. Like you shouldn't stalk them on social media because of course, like I feel like everyone knows this, but most of us post just like the happy moments of our lives on social media. Like most of us don't really post about the sad things, like about the real things. And
but
if
often
yeah,
many of many girls I see that when they're going to a breakup, they often like post something that is like something sad that show
yeah. But like I'm trying to say, uh,
that
like the
break.
guys, like if we see like another person, like our significant other that we just broken up with, and we stalk them on social media, what I'm trying to say is they won't, like most of the time they won't even like post about those, like
No, yeah,
their
no,
like deepest darkest feelings, you know. So
don't do
I
that.
mean,
No,
like, do not assume that they're like having such a great time without you and things like that. But I do understand what you're saying. Like most girls, I mean like not only girls, but at least mostly from our experiences, like girls do these things where after like their first immense breakup, they post like really, really sad things, like maybe
yeah, like
just
quotes and
yeah, like just so the other person knows what
what they're
they're feeling, right? Yeah.
gonna make you look like you're craving attention for someone, like just gonna make you feel like you're pathetic, and then I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying, I mean, it is pathetic, but it's just gonna make you feel like you're craving attention for other people.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy is
Yeah.
gonna be like, yeah, and I know damn well this guy's gonna be like, oh, you're still sad about us. You
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Like honestly, I really agree with that. Like the one thing that I wished
you
I
do that.
didn't do when I had my first heartbreak was post like just like these sad things,
Something really,
like
really
these
sad.
sad, yeah, these sad thoughts, or even like making covers about sad songs. Because honestly, at that moment, I just wanted the whole world to know that my
Yeah.
heart was like aching, you know, like I was having like the worst heartbreak ever and I didn't know what to do. I needed help and I just wanted people to know, and I especially wanted him to know about it, you know. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's like one of the things that I regret most. So you definitely shouldn't
Post.
post
And
about sad things. Yeah.
and then you need to delete all the pictures. It's definitely needed, but I know it's hard.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person that don't like deleting things,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely needed because once all their pictures gone, you're gonna be like feel a lot better than before,
Mm-hmm.
and then you gotta
Yeah.
like keep yourself busy. So like go out, just go out. Like when you break up, go out with your friends, go out with the girls, go out with other people, but accept that the relationship with you and him, it's not working out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so you need to accept, and you need to know that like it's not working out, and now it's time to move on. Like, so you gotta like keep yourself busy, and then if needed, delete his number. So you don't feel like tempted to like call him or text him, because like usually after 2 weeks or after 3 days, you're gonna feel like something like you wanted to text him, you want to make things right again, and
Mm-hmm.
that's just not it. Like if you're breaking up, then you're breaking up.
Yeah. So like first, don't stalk their social media, then delete all the pictures between like you and your significant other, and then
Don't
keep
post anything on social media.
yeah.
Keep
And
yourself busy with
keep
the girls,
yourself busy. That is
and keep
so important, honestly, because you know, like most of the time you feel like sad and lonely is when you're alone, like when you just don't have anything to do, when you feel like unproductive and things like that. It's like extremely important to keep yourself busy, like to
Like
just
keep yourself busy. You know, like
yeah,
even people these days like use this like dating app. Like, you know, like keep dating. Like it's just
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, true.
yourself out there. Don't feel like you need to like, you know, stay sad and stay in bed, stay grieving. Like, no, you don't need all that. Like keep
Hmm.
dating, you know, like keep hanging out with everyone, with your friend, with girls, and you know,
Yeah, yeah.
just don't even think about him. Because I know obviously it's hard at first, but you get
Hmm.
used to it. Like,
Yeah, that is
because
so true.
yeah, because before we met them, obviously we have those days like we're just fine without them. So if you're breaking up with me, I'm just gonna be fine without you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I like really agree with that. But to be honest, I feel like there should be like a process towards that thing. I mean, like if you just experience that heartbreak, like for example, like now, I
Yeah.
feel like you shouldn't just put yourself out there like immediately. I feel like you should like take time for yourself first.
Yeah.
Maybe
Accept that things
yeah,
happen.
yeah,
And
accept that things happen and be sad at first. It's like fine. Cry about it. It's okay. Vent to your
yeah,
friends,
yeah,
vent to your family, cry, stay in bed, like binge eat and things like that. It's okay. But of course, don't do it for too long, you know? Like
yeah.
just make sure that there's progress, you know, like after all of that, make sure that you can keep going. And then after that, just after you feel like you have had enough of just crying in your bed, you know, you have had enough of like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or how
Yeah.
like whatever time you think you need to just stay sad, then you keep yourself busy, you stay productive, you go
Delete
out
all your
with your friends. Yeah, you go on dates. Just put yourself out there, you know, like just do
yeah.
it when you're ready.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, because I feel like everything needs process, you know, and
Mm.
after a while, I feel like you should be fine, even if you think that.
It takes time. Obviously, it takes time. It's not gonna be
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
just like
yeah.
1 day or 3 days kind of thing. Because
Hmm.
obviously, you've been with this person
For
for
a long time, yeah.
months, years, you know. So
Hmm. And like,
it takes time,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
we cry a lot about it, which is fine because when we feel hurt, obviously we cry.
That is so true.
You still like have to deal with it, not just like run away from the problem, but you have to deal with it.
That is so true. And you know, like at least for me, even though I feel like I moved on, I got over the guy, I like went through my first heartbreak and I'm okay now, but it's okay to still feel, you know, sometimes sad or
Yeah,
sometimes
like
you
still think
feel yeah,
fine.
yeah, you still feel kind of hurt
That
because of
means
what
that you
happened. Yeah, that's
and
totally okay.
that means that you truly like in love with them. Like you give
Yeah.
everything you have to them.
Hmm.
That's just mean like yeah, like
It
when you
was
love,
real. It was real.
yeah. So yeah, we need to know the do's and don'ts in a relationship because
Yeah,
it's
because like based on like all of our experiences before, like our heartbreak or you know, just like the process of getting over a guy, I feel like we did like understand now like the do's and don'ts of a relationship. And yeah, maybe we could start with
and
like the
first, yeah,
do's. Yeah.
yeah.
So what do you think we should do in a relationship, D?
Communicate is very important. If you
Yeah, of
feel
course.
something that's bothering you, you need to communicate.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel
And
like
then
communication is just key, like in any type of relationship. I mean, like in friendship, like between your family, between your significant other, of course, and just like any type of like human interaction or human relationship. Because without communication, like how else would you like tell other people how you're feeling, tell other people what you think about your thoughts, what you want other people to see, what you want other people to just like how you want other people to understand you, like it's very important to just communicate all that to especially your significant other. It's like inevitable to not have fights between two people, but with
That's
communication, you could get over that, like you could
make
solve it together.
less.
Yeah, that's true.
And then just don't take your partner for granted, because obviously we know, like,
I mean, I feel like a lot of people just don't really like realize how precious and like how important your significant other are, like especially if you've been in a relationship for a long time. Like sometimes you just kind of forget because you think that that person's going to stay with you for a long time, like they're going to be with you.
Sometimes you say things that you don't mean that, but you say exactly like it's hurtful when you hear that. And like, don't take your partner for granted just because you're gonna be with them for a long time. It's just,
that's true. Because the fact is, like, people's feelings could change in a heartbeat. Like they're not gonna be with you forever. I mean, you can't really like 100% make sure that they're going to be with you forever, or like they're going to stay with you for a long time. Because if you just have that mentality, like, I don't care what I do, we're going to get through it anyways, like, then there's like a really big possibility of you just losing them, because you make all this problem seem less than they actually are. And then you take your significant other for granted.
Yeah, that's true.
Other than that, I feel like it's extremely important to make sure that you both have your own lives.
Yeah. Self busy. Don't just don't make all your life about them.
Yeah, that is so right. Like, especially like when you're in a relationship and you feel like you're so in love, sometimes you forget that the most important person in your life is yourself. But when you're in love with someone, I feel like you just kind of forget that the most important person is you. Especially because of that really intense feeling, you just kind of think that you want to do the best for that other person. You just want to give your all towards your significant other because you're in love. And I feel like that is a beautiful thing. That really is. But sometimes people forget that you both need to have your own lives. And
not just like, don't depend like your happiness on them.
Yeah, that is so true.
Like I said, like once they're gone and like something happened, and you're just gonna be like sad, like really, really sad, because like you put everything in them, and you put like your happiness in them, like you're only happy when you're with them.
When you're with them, yes.
And once they're like gone, you're just like sad and everything.
Yeah, you're gonna feel sad about it. Yeah, that's so true. I mean, it's important to also keep your lives just separated, like you have time for your boyfriend or for your girlfriend, but you also have time for your friends. You also have time for your family, because if 100% of your life just surrounds your significant other, that 100% is not healthy, because it means that you just don't have
I'm not
your
saying
own lives outside of them. Yeah.
I'm not saying like don't trust them. Don't trust them 100%, but like don't put like everything in them.
Yeah. Like you should still be responsible for your own happiness, is what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah, because you don't know like feelings change, people change. They can be like madly in love with you like today, and then tomorrow they're just gonna be like, bye. Like, I don't want this. I don't need this. I don't need you. I don't want you.
Yeah, that is so true. Yeah, maybe other than that, like the dues in your relationship, I feel like it's really important to normalize talking about your past traumas, you know?
Yeah. Traumas. That's true.
Yeah, because I feel like your significant other should understand why you're being like why you are
Feeling this way, feeling
yeah,
that.
yeah, like why you're the way you are right now.
Yeah.
Because past traumas is honestly very difficult to talk about and but it really impacts you like it
And
really just impacts your life, you know, and how you treat other people, how you treat yourself. And if your significant other knows about your traumas, I feel like they can just help you and like help each other in your relationship, you know. But
yeah,
of course, even though you are sharing your past traumas with your significant other, it's
that
also
doesn't
important to
that just mean like this is me and this is who I am, and I want you to know like this is how I feel, and I want you to know how I feel, and I want you to like do something about it, like
yeah.
sort this thing out, and then
Mhm.
accept your partner for who they are, because obviously, of course, we have plus and minus.
Yeah.
It's not always, because if you're dating someone, like this person, like might not give you like their time like every day, every time. Like, do you know what
Mhm.
I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the thing that you said before, you need to accept your partner for who they are because your relationship is having two people like thrown together, you know, like having just a really deep connection between two people. And that is, of course, extremely hard because you both have your own opinions, you both have your own thoughts, you both have your own feelings, you both have your own just like personality, you know, and trying
Yeah.
to merge all of that is extremely difficult because, of course, you're not going to be 100% similar, you know.
Yeah.
So you need to accept all the pros and all the cons of each other's lives, like all the plus, all the minus, you know?
Mhm. Let's go to the don'ts.
Yeah.
Uh,
Maybe like the don'ts in a relationship is, as you said before, do not assume or overthink. Like, even though that is 100% the hardest thing to do, right? But like,
I know,
try
like,
not to assume or overthink too much, is what we're trying to say.
yeah,
Yeah,
every time we're in a relationship, or we're just like, sitting down, we often overthink too much. We
mm-hmm.
assume that this person is with someone, this person like don't care about me, this person don't make time for me and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
don't be controlling. That's very important. Don't be controlling, because you don't want to be controlled by them. Obviously, they're just your boyfriend. They're not your husband.
Yeah.
Because
But
it's just not.
this also applies on like marriage. I feel like even though of course we're both not married yet, but like you can't be controlling towards just like your significant other in general, you know. But I do understand what you're saying. Like
Yeah.
even if you're just boyfriend and girlfriend, it's like extremely important not to be controlling because you both have your own life
Mm,
and you both need to trust each other, you know.
yeah.
And if you are too controlling with one another, I'm
I feel
like
like
really
you're
sure
not
that's not going to go anywhere. Yeah?
if you're too controlling, that means you don't trust them.
Yeah, that is so true. Maybe other than that is don't put too high of an expectation on someone.
Yeah, of course. Like, I know we often think like when we're with someone new, we always kind of get a high hope.
Compare. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, of course. Like
high hope. We just uh, expect that they're gonna be better than this person, they're gonna be better
Mm-hmm.
than my ex, but obviously we don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it's extremely important to have standards, of course, like to know what's good for you and like to think positively, I guess. Like that is extremely important too. But of course, don't put too high of an expectation on someone because if you put it at if you put like too high of an expectation on someone, then you're gonna definitely be really what is the word like
Something happen, like you expect
yeah.
to be the special one, you expect this person
Mhm.
to be the
You're
one,
gonna be disappointed is what I'm trying to say. Like you're gonna
and
be really really disappointed. Yeah.
it's gonna turn you into depressed, trust me. And
Yeah.
it's not all right.
That is so true because it's not fair to your significant other as well, if you put too high of an expectation on them because if you do then like I mean like if you do and they don't really like do
You
what
don't
you
really,
expect,
yeah,
then you're gonna think negatively about them even
yeah.
though it's not their fault, because yeah, like
That's
what we said before, you need to accept your partner for who they are, and if you have too high of an expectation, then it's kind of like not accepting them
yeah,
100%.
yeah.
But still, you need to have standards, though.
Yeah, we do need to. No, yeah, it's very important to have standards. So don't date just because you feel lonely. It's not okay.
Yes, yes, yes,
Don't
yes.
just because you feel like you need someone. You're you. I mean, like you can't be in a relationship when you're ready, but don't do it just because you feel lonely.
Yes. Yeah, so maybe that is the do's and don'ts in a relationship, based on our past experiences, like even though it's not a lot, but yeah, definitely be aware and just, keep learning with one another, and make sure you have fun in your relationship and make sure
Just
that everything is because of love.
don't put high expectation. That's the key.
Hmm.
All right, that's enough tea for today. And to make this a bit more juicy, let's play a little game with the wheel of confession. Let's start spinning. Okay, the question is, what is the most ridiculous excuse you have used to get out of plans? Rania.
Okay. That's a really good question. But, to be honest, I didn't really have to use any excuse like for school purposes, like I didn't really have a lot of reasons to make excuses like to my teachers or things like that. But
Mm.
most of the time I do like make excuses towards guys who are trying to like get close to me, especially in chats, and especially if I'm not interested. So maybe like the most ridiculous excuse that I have used, and I'm sure that a lot of people have used before, is pretending that they were asleep
Yeah, that
and
you
like
fall.
yeah, using that as an excuse of not replying towards someone. I mean, like that's definitely not a good reason, but I just
That's
I
definitely it.
yeah, I just don't really know what else to say. But yeah, that's not really that interesting. But how about you?
Okay, mine would be one time I have a turtle, and his
Mm.
name is Bobby, and he died like 2 months before. So I was talking to this guy, and but my turtle's like died like 2 months 2 months before,
Uh-huh.
and then I said that, oh, I'm sorry, Bobby died.
No. Dude, it's been 2 months.
Yeah, I just like just okay, let's just bring this up, and then I'm like, sorry, Bobby died, and I'm just missed, and I can't go, and then he's just
That's
like,
so funny though.
but yeah.
Yeah, but wait. look at the time. I think we're going to be late for our next class. So, yeah, thanks for listening to us ramble on. And for all of you listeners out there, tell us some of your confessions by tweeting with the hashtag C2CS and or hashtag ALRA Studios. And don't forget to tag us on our Twitter at ALRA Studios.
Yes, please do. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow us on Twitter at ALRA Studio and Instagram at ALRA Studios.
Yes, and you can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and more. I'm Rania.
I'm Titi.
Hope to see you in our next confession sesh.
Au
Au
revoir.
revoir!